It's like, dude, just get a fucking Depends, Nick.
As much as I love the Shitter's Full. That stupid light up leg.
They have it.
Stick your tongue on a fucking pole. Who fucking does that?
He's tripping balls off of psychedelic frogs.
Yeah.
Stick around, 'cause I am coming back. Someday I'm gonna make it big.
Talk about shit we talk about anyway. Just sit here.
Seriously. That's the plan. That's the dream. But anyway. All right, let's get to the show. Yeah, that's better. Our news feeds, I feel like we look at the same articles.
Well, I don't know how much you look at Flipboard. I'm always on Flipboard, and I obviously it lets you pick the article choices that you like to.
You can customize it to it.
And exactly, and I'm a big, obviously, Star Trek, Star Wars, anything sci-fi. I actually have the political aspect in there too because I'm big into that. But me and you were on the same vein. I think Jamie is too. I think Jamie just doesn't have the time.
Yeah, I agree.
Anything that Howard Stern says, he looks up. So, God, that was a jab at Jamie, but yeah, my man.
He's a he's the one that told me I fell off the Howard Stern radar. Like I wasn't tuned into Howard Stern ever since he went off of terrestrial, which was years ago.
Yeah, me too. I used to listen to him all the time,
and I didn't realize how much he changed as an interviewer since then.
He's fantastic. Ever since he started putting out those clips, I'm amazed. We talk about this all the time. I'm so amazed how he's able to disarm these political and public figures.
Yeah.
Like, Hillary Clinton is not somebody very easily to disarm.
No.
I mean, she's very reserved. She doesn't talk about losing what happened with Donald Trump or anything of that. The only thing they didn't bring up was the Monica Lewinsky thing. He did not touch it. I guess it was a stipulation of the interview.
Sure.
Don't go there.
Yeah.
Because it's 2.5 hours. They did not talk about that.
Yeah.
But he is so good. When he talked to Charlize Theron and she opened up about certain things in her past. And
about the producer thing with the Me Too thing, which was 18.
Exactly. So, I mean, he's just... And I think it comes with his... with everything that he's gained over the years is...
with the therapy and everything like that.
Well, no, the therapy's helped. But I think what his stardom really helps him. When we watch Private Parts and he's on the plane talking to the woman and the woman's like, you're not at all like the person I imagined you to be.
Yeah.
And I think that goes well in an interview. And I think he at some point decided, I'm going to use this. People think I'm like some kind of sleazeball dickhead and don't know shit about nothing. Just going up there. But he actually is a very intelligent, thoughtful.
Yeah, I agree.
And, and he's very relatable in a lot of things. And he uses that to his advantage.
Yeah, and I think the other thing, I think all of what you said is absolutely on point. And the other thing I think is that he, I think through all this analysis, like, because he was going to therapy like multiple times a week, and
he raves about it, dude.
Yeah, well, I heard this other comedian that I listened to his podcast, this guy Tom Segura. He talks. His wife has been in therapy for years because she just because she feels she had kind of a fucked up upbringing and all that stuff. But he turns around and says, "I don't feel like I've had this horrible childhood or scars or wounds and everything." He just says it's nice to unpack.
Yeah, I want to say something to this, and I have seen a therapist here and there, not because I'm like some kind of quackpot. Nobody really is.
But that's the stigma.
It's a stigma. I had an issue with anxiety on driving. That one day I just freaked out on 95 and I had to get off the road, and I didn't even care who was. I was in the middle lane. I didn't give a shit who was next to me. I just drove off at the next exit. That's
not uncommon.
It's not uncommon, but I never had that issue before.
Especially with fucking 95.
But I never had that issue before. And all of a sudden I flipped a switch one day and I had a massive panic attack.
Yeah.
And I could have killed somebody because I was in a bad area, 95, and I got off at a bad area.
Yeah.
But then I went and saw a therapist. I saw a couple different ones. But it helps. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I kind of wish I still was going, but all the stuff in my life I can't right now. But it really helps you just talk to somebody. You're not going there. You're almost not going there for them to tell you what's wrong in your life. You're just going there for a third party, a person that went through schooling and understands how to deal with an emotion.
Yeah.
Emotion. I can't.
Emotions, period.
Emotions, period. Exactly.
Yeah.
And how to handle that and how to make person leave feeling like it's not horrible what you are doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're not sitting there, you're not
broken.
You're not broken. You know,
Yeah.
you're not a horrible person.
You're a normal person that's actually that's the thing. So
Good point. Normal person. You're not broken, you're a normal person, but yeah.
But the other thing was too, and I know we could probably go through
personally, I think everybody could benefit.
I couldn't agree with you. You took the words right out of my mouth.
I think any person, could really benefit from just being able to unburden themselves of some of the thoughts that go on in their head. And it's a lot of that creates a lot of the problems in the world, because these people think that, these thoughts get caught up in their head, and they manifest in their emotions, and they come off rude, they come off ignorant, not intentionally. It's just how it is, or they treat their kids a certain way that they're not normally. They're just exhausted and they don't take time to think about stuff.
The brain's a powerful thing, man.
It is.
It can bust you up.
Yeah, man. Good people turn bad. It's just because you just let things manifest them.
Yeah. Think about something as simple as like if someone goes, put it this way. I have if someone just turns around and says, "Yeah, you know what? I got to take a piss." You're like, God damn it! I think I got to take a piss.
Why do you think I have those issues with the movies, man? Because we went and saw Frozen. I didn't get up fucking once. We go see any movie that I'm hyped up to see. I'm pissing 5 fucking times because I'm so like, don't piss, Nick. Don't piss. Don't piss. Of course, I gotta fucking pee.
It's crazy, but it actually affects you physically, right?
It does.
Yeah.
You know that,
of course. I'm sitting next to you in a movie. One of the few.
It's like, dude, just get a fucking Depends, Nick.
That's the next. We were talking about WALL-E and how it's a utopia. How all you have to do is float around in your hover chair, and like eat everything's in a cup. You don't have to worry about shit. Being overweight and out of shape is not a
it's not like
stigma.
You're not gonna die from it. Everybody lives forever. You can be fat and ugly. Nobody cares.
I wonder. They probably just piss in the chair.
Exactly. Something sucks it out, dude.
That'd be great. You're watching a movie. I don't have to worry about anything. Where's my cup?
Yeah.
Right. All right, let's get to the show. Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Nick, John, and Jamie Show. I'm John.
I am Nick.
And we have our special guest back.
Yes, I'm not Jamie.
He's not Jamie. He is most definitely not Jamie. But he's our crime-fighting, firefighting superhero, local superhero. Gerry, welcome back to the show.
Well, our 3-spot guy.
That's right.
That's right. And the gold lame cape is on its way.
All right, I can't wait.
It's, I said upstairs, it's being
he's going to need a gold suit by the time that shit opens.
Next podcast, I'm just wearing that.
And the boots. We have matching boots.
You're not allowed back. You're not allowed back, dude.
We'll mail you the cape, buddy. So let's get right into it. Let's get into the weekend box office. So,
Roy, is it Frozen again? Do I feel a Frozen feeling?
Wait a minute. Did you guys see the thing on Facebook that the Frozen character was themed after some porn star?
Seriously?
No, I didn't see that. Was it a meme or is it
was
true?
A meme, but she was hot.
Oh.
The porn star was.
What porn star? Most of them are hot.
Well, yeah.
No.
Not unless you're looking up for like specific. Then it gets a little hairy.
Hey, everybody has their own thing, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, Frozen 2 was number 1 at the box
There's
office.
hairy dick ones. I stay away from.
Excuse me, miss, your balls are showing. Frozen 2 was number 1 at the box office with $11 million. Actually, that was for September 8th with $35 million. That was for the weekend.
How much has it done total? I'm curious because it has to hit almost $1 billion by now, right?
It is 922,444,155 $5.
Disney's pumping that shit
Disney
For a
is
cartoon
making
movie.
money.
Bob Iger,
Yeah.
man. He just knows how to fucking do his
Well,
business.
you said last week you were like, there's 6 movies that Disney
Slotted
has.
because the Jedi, the next Star Wars. I mean, I'm sorry,
Skywalker.
is on projected to do $1 billion and probably will.
Yeah.
I mean,
No doubt. No
I mean, if
doubt.
the last one fucking did $1 billion, this one will.
Yeah. I've already bought our tickets.
Yeah, right.
We're not the only ones either, because people are saying at work, oh, so you're in the movies, so are you going to see Star Wars? And I was
Did
like,
they say Star Wars?
yeah. You're going to see
You see Star Wars in quotations?
You're going to see the Star Wars. And I'm like, yeah. He goes, oh, yeah. I was like, you try and get tickets? They're like, oh, why do you think I should try and get tickets? I was like, you can try.
If you want to go opening night.
Right.
I was like, you can try.
Good luck.
Yeah, so Frozen 2 did $35 million. This is for the weekend of December 6th to the
How did that
8th.
Knives Out to that Ryan Johnson piece of
It's
shit?
number 2, $14 million.
Fuck.
You
hate
know?
that guy.
And then Ford versus Ferrari still making money at $6.7
Dude, that was a great movie.
Yeah, it was a great movie. And by the way, it's December 9th as we're recording. Queen and Slim, we talked about that movie.
You don't always put out the date, do you?
I've been doing it now because sometimes the releases will go. Sometimes I'll release on like a Wednesday, but then sometimes I'll like.
I've been
this week-
noticing it came out Saturday.
Yeah.
Were you a little slack in there,
I
John?
know,
I don't want to
man.
get too caught up in
I had to decorate.
I was a little upset. We got fans out there that are waiting.
I got all
The
kinds of
5 fans are waiting, motherfucker.
I got all kinds of hate mail. They said, "Bring back Gerry," and what the fuck? Where's the podcast?
I do have questions when we have time for.
Oh, we have time, buddy.
All right, good.
So
That's what I say when I'm having sex. I do have
You have
questions.
questions?
and I always say I do have time. Ford
I'm
versus
choosing my wife, but sure.
Ford versus Ferrari did $6.7 million.
I like Ford, so I got to see that movie.
Check that movie out,
I'm
yo.
a big fan of Fords.
Matt
Yeah.
Damon does.
I like Matt Damon too.
Matt Damon. They both do great jobs, man.
It's a great movie.
I mean, I don't think what's his face did an accent for this one.
No, I think that was his.
Yeah, I think it's just with Christian Bale. You know, it's like
Yeah.
you ever hear his real accent? It's like what?
Yeah.
Thick
It's
ass
like this
accent.
guttural English.
It's like he should be a cabbie.
I don't know how those guys do that. It's amazing that they could change their voice like that for a whole movie.
Well, and the thing
It's
is,
not like, oh, just going to do it for 3 hours. Doing it for like
And
months.
Yeah.
You know what? English actors seem to be the best at it. They really do a good job. Like an American trying to do an English accent, you almost can like spot that shit out right away.
oh,
Yeah.
dude, I saw a YouTube video of this guy who's is Scottish talking about. We got a football game
Yeah,
upstairs.
can you hear them screaming?
Eagles,
Normally I'd be right up there with you, but
Eagles
my
versus the Eagles
not
versus
doing
the
so well
Giants,
this year.
and we got some rabid fans upstairs, so there might be some.
You might hear some thumping.
The basement is not soundproof, so
Not your mother's basement. We talk about this.
this
dude.
is true. So check out Ford versus Ferrari.
Yeah, I'm down with
definitely.
that. I'm
it's
down.
a good
It's
movie.
if you pay for it, it's one of those things where you're not gonna like be upset you paid for it.
It's a skosh long.
Well, which
It's
is
not
define
it's,
scooch.
It's not like the
Because
Irishman.
the Irishman was 3 hours and 36 minutes.
No. This could probably be trimmed up by maybe 15, 20 minutes.
They didn't need the end part.
Yeah.
They kind of like revisited something they didn't.
Yeah.
You kind of could like,
But-
forgo it.
But dude, well worth the price of admission.
It was
Really awesome.
They get into detail about certain things about cars, the
Yeah.
relationship between,
Carol Shelby.
Calvin Shelby and the main guy.
Yeah, Ken Miles.
And you understand where McLaren came from.
Oh, yeah?
He was part of the crew. I didn't know that.
Ford just bought Range Rover.
Did they really?
They did.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, Range Rover was British, right? Or no?
I don't know.
I can't remember.
I don't want to say.
Oh, I know where-
mean, you can fact check me, but I do know
Yeah.
they bought them because my son just bought a 2020 Ford Explorer, and they look like a Range Rover.
Yeah, I noticed that.
And the
I love the
salesman,
look of
and the
them.
salesman told me that Ford bought them specifically for a, copyrighted or something they had that they wanted. Now Ford owns it.
Yeah.
Well, that's how it goes.
Yeah,
They want these big companies want something, they take it.
yeah.
Yeah, but in an M&A, it's like it all depends on what they're really looking to acquire. Sometimes it's licensing, sometimes it's talent, sometimes
Yeah.
it's technology,
Yeah.
whatever it might be.
We always talk about how
and then they throw away the rest.
Yeah.
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 They take all the good shit and they throw away all the garbage.
Yeah. I'm buying your customer base.
Well,
Executive management team can go pound sand.
Not to bring up a bad movie that's like a chick flick, but Pretty Woman. What's his face's character?
Richard Gere.
Richard Gere.
That's totally what he did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He was a shark.
He sucked up small companies into his.
Yeah, and then he split them apart into little pieces.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of that, I don't know how this popped in my mind, but I just changed cell phone carriers from Sprint to T-Mobile, and T-Mobile bought Sprint.
Yes.
Did they? Yeah.
They did.
Yeah.
And the reason that T-Mobile wanted Sprint was because of their customer base and a specific frequency bandwidth they have. T-Mobile wants from Sprint.
Oh, what bandwidth?
Something about radio frequency bandwidth they want.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and as soon as it's all done, Sprint's going to go away, be gone. They're done.
Well, that's what happened with when you had the clicker with the Nextel.
Mm-hmm.
Sprint bought out Nextel,
Yep.
and then Nextel was like, it was there for a bunch of years, and then
Same thing. They're sucking them up for their customer base and their technology.
Yeah, no, that's what all these big tech now, whether it's streaming or regular tech based.
Disney
companies.
bought Hulu.
Plus, now that I have T-Mobile, I got a free Netflix account.
There you go.
For a year or forever?
Oh, forever.
Oh, that's cool.
As long as I'm a T-Mobile customer.
I got that for Comcast.
Interesting.
Yes.
I'm still paying through the nose. I'm a sucker. So last but not least, as far as the box office, we're doing top 5. A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. It's the Mr. Rogers story.
Mr. Rogers story
with Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
Dude, I want to. I'm not going to go to the movies because I got
I'll wait
so
till it
much,
comes out on.
But I want to see it. I really do.
Yeah.
God damn it, they're both lovable characters.
Hell of lovable.
Both are. I mean, Tom Hanks. You never hear a bad word about that fucking guy. He's probably going to go down as the greatest, not the greatest actor, but the greatest actor, like as a personality. Like he's like award winning. Like there's other actors like Bill Murray's funny.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he's also a good person.
I think you're trying to say like as the most likable person. Like,
yes.
He's very likable.
There you go.
Yes,
very likable actor. And he's also really good at his craft.
Yes. Yeah.
Like where there's been like, other ones that not so good at his craft. They are good at his craft. Like, we just mentioned the Batman. What the fuck is it?
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale. It's a bit of a dick, I heard.
Oh, dude.
But he plays I thought he played the role well.
But I mean, no. What I mean
talking about
is,
off screen. Like
he's a great actor, but he's an asshole off screen. Russell Crowe, same deal. Great actor.
Yeah, I think Russell Crowe has come back from that. I mean, I know that's the way he was because who knows? We don't know these people at all. We all speculate. But I follow him on Twitter and on Instagram and stuff like that, and follow him on Twitter. And I've seen him. He had this documentary where he was a part owner in a rugby team in Australia, and you saw how he was talking to the stars of this rugby team, and he was talking to them in a way to where he was schooling them on how to manage media, like some of the do's and don'ts, and really kind of taking these guys under his wing. He seemed very genuine and sincere in looking after for these guys. Granted, the cameras are on and everything like that, but it didn't seem rehearsed. It didn't seem staged or anything
horrible,
like that.
But he's not. My main thing I was trying to say is Tom Hanks. You never hear bad. The guy showed up at somebody's fucking wedding because he was walking by in the Central Park or something, and crashed a fucking wedding, and he took pictures with everybody.
You remember Jennifer Aniston when she was in Marley and Me?
Yes.
That was shot here, right?
They filmed part of that in Westchester, and
did they really?
Did, and a lot of my coworkers, they contracted us out for security because they did it in town.
And you met her?
I didn't meet her, but they said she was very needy.
Oh, really?
Very demanding off screen.
No kidding.
Had to have a specific wine, like at a certain time, and like very needy.
Shit, man. That's
Kate Winslet's like that. She just filmed in Aston a couple of weeks ago. And
in Downingtown too.
They said the people that I know of said that she was kind of a bitchy.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. You know what? It's like,
but we also don't know everything about these people. I mean,
you could catch somebody on a bad day.
Yeah, we all have bad days. I mean, and their bad day, they meet hundreds of new people every day, so they got to be on all the fucking time.
Right.
Yeah, and everybody wants something from them, and so. But my point is like you never hear that from Tom Hanks.
You never do, or Bill Murray.
Right. Bill Murray. Well, Bill Murray, I heard he's just a little. He can be a little aloof and a little flaky, but that's Bill Murray's shtick, right?
Yeah.
But not so much as far
But
as
at the
he's
end
an
of the day,
asshole.
Tom Hanks. That's why I would give him the People's Choice Award
So I'm saying,
for nice
very,
guy.
Yeah.
very likable person.
Yeah, he's
Yes.
super likable.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
Who else did I hear? Now that we're dishing, there was it. I think it was. I can't remember. It just went out of my head. So let's get back to the box office real quick. That's it for that's it for the box office. Beautiful day in the neighborhood. We're all done.
glad we talked about that, John.
Yes, I'm glad I got that off my chest.
Let's get you to meat of the show.
Yes, we're going to get to the meat of the show. One thing I do want to mention real quick is just a tidbit of news. I know we're changing the format up just a tad.
John.
Amazon renewed Lord of the Rings for season 2.
They haven't even released season 1.
I know, but
I don't even know when it airs, dude.
I'm saying it's supposed to be in 2021.
It had what? 2021?
Yeah.
I have to wait a whole fucking
Another year?
Yeah,
Ah, that's
Man.
shit, man.
I'm going to forget about it. But no, I'm not.
They need to get on
Anyway.
the ball with some of these series they have. Like, there's 3 or 4 of them that they're behind with releases.
Yeah.
I'm getting stressed out.
Well, it's only the ones that they're dumping a ton of money into.
Yeah.
They're
So-
dumping. They paid, what was it, $200 million just for the rights for this series?
For
Lord of the Rings?
I think it was $500 million.
No. No, I think it's $200 million for it. They're investing $500 million in it.
Oh, that's right. That makes sense.
When's the next season of Stranger Things coming out? Because you guys got me
For
addicted to that.
over the summer. I think this summer.
Can't wait.
So
Like,
we are going to talk.
They gotta stop. They
we're
gotta
going to
stop
talk
waiting.
about. You just reminded me about something. We're going to talk about trailers after we get done
There's a lot of good trailers that popped out.
Yes.
All right.
So let's get to the subject or our topic for tonight's podcast or today's podcast. It's
I didn't have a lot of time to prepare, so
You don't
I
have to
didn't either.
prepare.
because I do
Yeah.
have. We got to get some questions answered though.
So I decided to dive. We were
Just
talking
do like
about
5 movies.
We were talking about.
Critics.
We've
been talking about
been
critics.
talking about Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
Right? It's the
And I agree. I agree with Jamie because I think that he gets quite on top of the tomatoes, but
Well, the thing is, that's the thing. It's like the Rotten Tomatoes. We have this love-hate relationship.
Yeah.
They do provide somewhat of a service that is undeniable.
Here's the problem with it. Here's the problem with it. And I'm just going to use an example as me. It's 3:00 in the morning on a Sunday,
Yes.
and I'm trying to stay awake, and I'm at work. So I bring my iPad, right? And I
Alright.
look for something to watch on the iPad. And you always go to the tomato meter, and they're like, oh, that one's a 12. I'm not watching that.
Yes.
But it could be a good movie.
Right.
So to me, they jade the system with their stupid
Now-
ratings.
now-
It could be a good movie.
Now see the one.
And hold on, I've watched movies that had like a 12 or a 15.
And they were good.
And they were awesome.
Do you go audience or you go?
That's
critic?
where I was going with it. Because the
Okay.
audience, like John pointed out when we were talking upstairs, there might be like 56 critics that review a
Yeah.
movie and they give a review. But then audience, there's like thousands.
Right.
So if the audience is giving it like 75 or 80 and the critics are giving it a 12, I'm going to go with that fucking
Well, so
audience.
am I, because they're actually watching it.
Yeah, and they're not just people
They're
that
not-
are just like might be being paid by the company.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you right now, if I go into a movie and I tell you I thought it sucked, I'm just like, that movie sucked.
Well, look at it.
And versus a guy like, oh, that movie was awesome.
Did you see Bright? Will Smith's Bright?
Yes, and I
That
liked
was great.
I
right?
liked it.
It was 23 on Rotten
Well,
Tomatoes.
I don't agree with
but
that.
But 75 or 81 on fans.
Yes.
We all loved it.
I liked it. Yeah.
And
So Rotten Tomatoes is losing
Credibility.
Credibility, and a lot of the critics are too, because they are just. We feel. I'm not even feel. I'm almost for sure
my,
to be
my,
paid
my
now.
question is,
It's questionable.
If it's that jaded, then why do they continue to show the rating? Because it could screw up someone's opportunity to watch a movie that they might like.
Well,
Because
that's-
people aren't that sophisticated
And
when
that's
it
what
comes to looking deeper into the movies they want to watch.
They're not
they
like
take it at face value.
yeah.
They're not like us. We would scan that shit and look into it.
Yeah.
But that's what they get paid for. I mean, until it gets.
Allegedly
Bro-
get paid for.
I give every movie like, even if I find something I'm interested, I'll give it, if it has a crappy tomato rating, I'll give it like 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's
And
your
if
cutoff.
it sucks, I'm like, on to the next one.
No.
That's good.
I only do that if the fan rating is low, but it has something that intrigues me. Now, if the fan rating is high, I'll probably watch the whole damn thing just because people like me liked it, so there had to be something to it.
Right.
Now, if it's both low, but it's like something that I've watched, the one with the Falcon, he's not Falcon on this movie, but it was a movie on Netflix where it was the end of the world. They both were low.
What's it?
Or whatever. I.O., something like that. And I watched
Anthony Mackie.
And it was really shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I liked him, so I was like, I'll give it a fucking whirl.
Yeah, and that's why we have this love-hate relationship with Rotten Tomatoes, right? Our love-hate relationship is that, you're right, it is very pervasive.
They're losing people, man.
There's a lot of outlets. I mean, I don't know if Apple TV still does it or not, but there's a lot of paid services where you'll go and they'll have the little icon with a little percentage, and it'll be like, 85% on the Rotten or the Tomato meter.
You know what they don't do? Netflix, Amazon Prime, and now Disney Plus don't have that. They just have their own little meter that they have. Now, the only ones that do that are Verizon and Comcast. When you actually see a movie on there, they'll have the tomato meter on there. But you go on Amazon, they have their own 4 stars out of 5.
I thought Netflix had the tomato meter too.
That could be wrong.
I'm pretty sure they do because...
Do they?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do.
I know Amazon Prime, and I know for a fact Disney Plus doesn't. But he could be right. I don't... Now, if you're looking at it through Comcast, they might show it on Comcast.
No, I just look at it through Netflix, right through the app. So I'm pretty sure they have it.
Well, and Google actually does a pretty good job where they'll put in Metacritic, they'll put in Rotten Tomatoes, and they'll put in their Google users' ratings.
But we're just saying that the average people that don't look all that up.
But if you I'm just saying, if you do a search on a particular movie, say you're interested in a movie, usually it's the way you said it, Gerry, where you're like, what do I want to watch?
Right.
And then you start going through. Nick, I'm picking up your phone.
Sorry.
And then you start going through and you're like, well, this got a pretty high rating. Let me go and watch this and everything. But to your point, Nick, it's like most of us don't go, I want to look at that movie. Don't go from there and then go to Google and then look up IMDb, Metacritic, Google users, and Rotten Tomatoes. It looks like there's consistently a rated high, so let's go watch that. Not a lot of people do that due diligence. But back to our topic, our love-hate relationship. So what I wanted to do is, and I talked this over with Nick, and I'll just explain it to you, Gerry, is that we're going to take 2 movies at a time. We're going to compare them. We're going to call this segment Rotten Roulette.
All right. Yeah.
We're going to take 2
red
movies.
or black.
I'm going to put 50 on red. Come on, 7. And we'll basically we'll say, all right, out of these 2 movies, which one do you think, this is critics' rating, because they're the ones a little bit more questionable, which one do you think has been rated higher out of the 2?
I like it.
Sound good?
Let's get on to it.
All right, let's get into the segment. The segment is Rotten Roulette. All right. Oh, and by the way, we're going to Christmas theme this one.
Oh.
Fuck.
Don't worry.
That's not my thing, dude.
They're pretty popular movies. I'm sure you guys have seen these movies at least once or twice. A Christmas Story. Everybody knows A Christmas Story. Right?
Yep.
So... yeah, I don't know what it is with that phone, man. It's like a Geiger counter. Every time you point it towards my head, it goes off radioactive.
All right, I put it on the floor for God's sake.
Christmas Story versus National Lampoon's Vacation. Which one has been the higher rated, according to the tomato meter?
Now or when it first came out?
I just pulled these all today.
Because I know when National Lampoon's first came out.
Rating by whom?
These are the critics.
Critics. I know when National Lampoon's first came out, it was rated low.
I'm going to go.
But it matured over time.
As much as I don't agree with what I'm going to say, I'm going to go with A Christmas Story.
Christmas Story?
Yes.
You think Ralphie and his eye getting shot out is higher than Cousin Eddie and emptying the shitter?
Yes, as much as I love The Shitter's Full, and I watch it probably 6 times a year.
Such
my
great
favorite movie on the planet.
You know what? I'm going to totally agree with him. I want to say the other one. I do, because it's one of my all-time favorite comedies.
It's awesome.
No. You know,
we could do an episode just on that.
Oh, we could.
Oh, of course.
Not the second one, just the first one.
Yes.
The second one sucks.
Yes. All right.
Agreed.
So Christmas Story versus National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. You guys hit it right.
Christmas Vacation?
Christmas Vacation. Yeah. You going to change your answer?
No, I'm going to go with the same.
You're going to stay with Christmas Story?
Yeah.
All right, Christmas Story. Drum roll, rate it at 89%. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, according to the critics of Rotten Tomatoes, rated 65%.
Yeah.
Do not agree with that one bit.
Now,
I never liked the Christmas Story. I thought it was
Neither
stupid.
did I.
I think it's stupid.
That stupid light up leg.
they have
But
it.
stick your tongue on a fucking pole. Who fucking does that?
Yeah, in December. It's cold.
Yeah. Of course it's going to stick, dumbass.
I can't remember if it's AMC or TBS or one of those cable channels that has it playing for 24 hours
I believe
straight.
it's TBS.
TBS.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes.
24 hours nonstop of Ralphie and his gun.
Oh, my God.
All right, so... But
It was actually, one day it was on two different channels going at the same fucking time. I'm like, TBS and TNT. I'm like, really?
This package is leaking.
all right, so
He's
here's
all
the,
excited about a fucking leg lamp. What the fuck? A leg lamp.
it's Italian. It's from Fragile. Hey, so here's the part that gets us all upset, right? Audience score, National Lampoon's Vacation, 86%.
Yeah, it's gonna be off the-
Damn right,
It's gonna be-
motherfucker.
Audience score for Christmas Story, 88%.
Wow.
Pretty close,
pretty close.
right?
No, I could see that because a lot of people love the Christmas Story. Me and Gerry just aren't one of them.
I could take it or leave it.
And quite frankly, it's a... How I word this?
It's a little bit more wholesome.
Yes, that's the word I'm looking for. It's a wholesome family, Christmas-oriented
And
movie.
it's more
Even-
for kids.
Yes.
More for
Absolutely.
kids.
National Lampoon
It's
Christmas
not,
Vacation is
dude.
geared towards us.
Dude, he's sitting here fucking about to jerk off to a fucking image he thinks he's seeing in through a window.
Yeah, the
Yes,
woman with the
yes.
underwear salesman.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
I mean, dude, that's not for my
and
fucking
and
8-year-old.
Don't forget the hot girl selling the underwear.
That's what I'm talking about.
Right.
Look, Russ, no panty line.
yeah. Oh, hi, Dad.
And who's Russ? Russ is richer than all those motherfuckers right now. From Big Bang, he's getting paid Budo dollars.
That's right. I
Damn
never
right.
put that two and two
They just got
together.
a fucking $1 billion markup for their show on HBO Max.
I forgot that was the same guy.
Dude.
Galecki.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
All right, moving on. Now, this is going to be a challenge. How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Which one?
This?
Yeah.
The original?
Which one?
This is the original.
There's like 19 of them.
I know, right?
This is the original. The old even. I'm not
The
gonna-
old cartoon one?
The old cartoon
Okay.
one,
All
right? The one with the great voiceover.
Yeah, we got to make sure we got the right one.
Yep.
Old cartoon one.
Versus Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the Jim Carrey one.
Ew.
You want to know who rated? I'm going with
Critics.
The original.
Critics. I'm
The
going
original.
with The original.
I'm not even going there. If the critics actually gave Jim
'Cause I-
Carrey
I-
one
I got-
higher,
I might-
that's
look,
a fucking
I like-
travesty. It's a
I like-
fucking travesty.
Hold on, I like
'Cause that
Jim-
is
I like-
disgusting.
That's
I
right.
like Jim Carrey.
Yeah, that's right. It's disgusting.
I like Jim Carrey, but I hated that movie.
Anybody need a beer?
I do. I hated it.
So I'm going to tell you.
We got one of these in there at the bottom. I'm going light tonight.
I got plenty.
There you go.
He's on his diet plan.
No, I'm on a diet plan.
What's
I'm just,
that one on the corner there?
One in the corner.
Don't worry about it. I'll get it later.
So I got a Bud Light.
Ew.
It's Bud Light.
Wait, I might have Miller.
There's a Coors Light in that Miller Light box.
Seriously, this is not the Nick, John, and Jamie show anymore.
There you go. I'll
This
drink
is
that.
the Bud Light
Yeah,
show.
yeah, yeah. Huh? Bud Light.
First of all,
I got a Bud Light story. Let me forget to tell it.
we're not going to be able to get any beer sponsors now that you're drinking that Coors Light, Jerry.
I just wanted a light beer.
I know what you wanted.
He's trying to lose weight.
No, I'm not trying to lose. Me?
Yeah, yeah.
He's already fit, dude. Me and you should be losing
know.
weight, dude.
Jerry does 100 push-ups a day.
It's correct.
So, of course, this was kind of easy peasy. I think we're all on the same page. 50% for the Jim Carrey one. This is critics. And 100% on the original.
Oh, I give the critics that
I
one.
don't know about 100%.
I love the-
I think the original is 85.
Dude, you want
Should
to
be
get...
around
I like the
85%.
original. I didn't like the
I
Jim
like the
Carrey.
original. It's a cute little movie,
It's
but
got the song. You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch.
yeah, it's awesome, man. The little heart gets bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
It's-
Yeah.
Dude, you want to hear something crazy? So, I'm in...
Your heart got bigger and bigger.
Not my heart. We were in San Diego. We're doing this kayaking tour, like a little, you get your kayak. It's me and the boys and Cindy, and you have a guide that sort of takes you out and takes you around and everything. And as we're going around this cove outside of La Jolla, the guy's pointing up at this killer house that's up on one of the cliffs, and he basically says, "See that house? That was Dr. Seuss's house when he was alive."
Really?
Dude, I'm talking like probably a $10-15 billion home easily for writing Green Eggs and Ham.
How about it?
And The Grinch.
He wrote a lot, dude.
Oh, dude, I'm not saying that he didn't write War and Peace. He wasn't, but for writing children's books, he made bank.
But he's the children's book writer of his generation.
But who would know? You know what I mean? I'm writing children's book, and boom, it blows up to where he's worth tens of millions of dollars.
Well, look at Joe Rogan's podcast.
Yeah, that's true. That's
I mean, the guy was a douchebag 10 years ago. He was doing fucking, what's that show where you eat balls or whatever?
Oh, yeah.
Eats balls.
It was Fear Factor.
Fear Factor. And he was like fucking a weirdo. I mean,
Nasty.
Yeah, he was a bit, he got painted as pretty much like a meathead, but
he started the podcast movement. I don't know if he started it, but he
was an early adopter for sure.
But he revolutionized it and he made it mainstream and everybody wants to emulate what he has.
You know who's one of the earliest was it was Adam Carolla, but he already had like a radio show. But Adam Curry,
Jimmy Kimmel.
remember Adam Curry from MTV?
Yeah.
He was a VJ. He was one of the very first podcasters.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Let's get back to it. That's,
All right, that's
not information I care about.
some useless knowledge to bring the tone of the podcast
Sorry,
down.
John. I'm just teasing.
All right, here's a goodie. You ready?
Yep.
Home Alone.
Which one?
One, of course.
All right, because the other ones were sucked.
Yeah, well, and money grabs.
Yeah.
Or Elf.
Home Alone.
Home Alone.
84% Elf.
Yeah, that's how
65% Home Alone.
What?
That's bullshit.
Elf sucked.
Bullshit.
That's crap.
Elf was okay, but
Yeah,
it wasn't. It should
even-
be the other way around.
I really like
Home
Elf.
Alone is
Maybe-
Home Alone.
no.
Seriously, look. Home Alone's the kind of movie where you buy a pizza, get your kids in there, you make a big bag of popcorn,
Oh, yeah.
and you bring some beers
still-
in there, and you laugh the whole time.
Yeah.
Fucking Joe Pesci at his best.
Elf sucked balls.
Oh, I didn't think it sucked balls.
No,
I liked it.
I didn't like
Elf
it at
didn't
all.
suck balls. It was entertaining. I can't watch it again, but it was entertaining the first time around.
I really liked Elf.
I wasn't a fan.
So think about that. Joe Pesci on Home Alone, and then we just saw him in The Irishman.
We
Buffalino.
at work.
Yeah.
At work, we have moments where we're sitting in briefing and we no longer talking about police work, and we take these crazy routes of amazing different conversations.
Nice.
We talked about Joe Pesci, and one of the things that we found out was that he hadn't really done a movie in
a long time.
years until The Irishman came out.
Yeah, he retired.
He's like, fuck it, I don't need it.
Yeah,
You know what
he
I mean?
was doing music, dude.
Yeah.
What's he doing? Music, really?
He was doing
he's a musician.
Yeah, he was doing like a jazz club type shit, man. I think it was like crooner type
But
stuff.
how long? But think about it. How long was he off the screen?
What was his
it's been
last
years.
movie?
A long time. Like,
Well, you know what? And it's what you got to love about a guy that, hey, man, I did it. I'm famous. I got enough money in the bank.
Right.
I just move on.
Right.
And you know what? He did it well. I mean, there's all those movies. My Cousin Vinny. You can go down a list of Home Alones. You know what I mean?
Dude, his first movie was Raging Bull.
He was in Raging Bull.
Yeah.
He was his brother.
What was his last?
Well, The Irishman.
before the Irishman.
No, before the Irishman.
But
You know what I mean.
that's the thing we're trying to figure out. He did Home Alone. He did the
Home Alone 2.
yeah,
I
Home
just
Alone
pulled up
2.
IMDb.
He did
Something after that.
what were the things with Danny Glover?
No. He
Lethal
was
Weapon.
Lethal Weapons.
He was in Goodfellas. Not
He was in
Goodfellas.
he was in Goodfellas.
No, not Goodfellas. He was in Bronx Tale at the end.
Yeah, but Bronx Tale was before
You gotta get the time
before Lethal Weapon.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
Leo
yeah.
gets. Leo
Leo gets it. Leo wants.
That was Lethal Weapon 4, right?
Yes.
They fuck you in a drive-through.
So
Oh, yeah, it was awesome.
he was in a lot of little stuff too. The Good Shepherd, Love Ranch,
The Good
A
Shepherd.
Warrior's
he was in
Tale in 2015.
Was that like a Warrior's Tale? Was that like a cartoon?
I don't even know. I mean, it was a cartoon. Good call.
I like Joe Pesci.
Dude, his performance in The Irishman, we said this in last week's episode, was I think the highlight.
I wish I could have made that one. I thought that was a great movie.
Yeah.
Just a little bit too long, but I really liked it.
Yeah, agreed. Totally.
I don't want to get into this again. Let's move on.
What I find amazing is how one of the questions that we were talking about at work was like, how much of that is based off reality? Like,
it's a good question.
You know what I mean? Like,
it's all about this one guy that was in a nursing home that
Frank Sheeran.
Yeah.
You know,
he's got to know some factual statements about it.
About the Kennedys and all that. Who knows? I mean, did
the mafia really get into whacking Kennedy?
But that's the question.
Like,
did anybody ever do the research to find out did he have an association with these guys?
Dude, I worked on.
You know what I mean? You're a cop.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, I mean,
you actually is just taking this guy at his word, or did he actually have an association with the Buffalino character, or Hoffa? Did he actually? Was there any pictures or any people can verify?
But they don't know where Hoffa is, so them cremating him is a legitimate.
And why would you? I talked about this last week. That makes perfect sense.
It does. What else would you do with him? Like you're going to burn him up until he's nothing but ash.
You're going to bury him under a building? That's just stupid. Somebody's eventually going to take that building down.
But
that's the rumor.
But remember, mafia killings always wanted to make. A scene with it, like they wanted to
send a message.
They wanted the message sent that he was dead. But that one was different. They wanted him gone.
Yeah. Not unless he was under the radar saying he was doing stuff. Which I haven't seen the movie, but you guys totally told me.
You didn't see the movie?
I didn't want you.
I don't want to ruin it for you. But
it's all right. They ruined it for me. I'll watch it.
Jimmy,
I already knew the end of it.
Really good.
I already knew. Hoffa dies. Come on.
It was almost.
You stole my joke, you son of a bitch.
Anyway, all right. I'm sorry.
You didn't ruin anything for me.
All right. So moving on back to our Rotten Roulette. All right. We got our next movie up. Scrooged. No, I'm going to skip this one.
Where's that Bill Murray Scrooge?
All right, I'll do it. Whatever. Scrooge, Bill Murray, right on point, versus Scrooge with Albert Finney. The original.
The original? The black and white one?
No. It's I believe it was shot in the 60s. I'm not sure. Did you guys even see it? We can move on.
No, I've seen them both.
I didn't see
I've seen them both, but I'm just trying to have a hard time figuring out which one to get a better rating.
There was a Patrick Stewart one, too.
I'm going to go with
That's right.
I'm going to go with the Bill Murray one.
70% Bill Murray, 72% Albert Finney.
Wow.
See, I couldn't give you. I've never seen that.
I thought they both were good movies.
They're really good.
Yeah.
The Albert Finney one is really awesome.
I thought it was.
You know what I like?
Put together very well.
Yeah.
I like Mickey Mouse's one.
That's a good one too. But you like coloring books too.
I do. I like pictures.
All right. Here's an old classic. It's very near and dear to my heart. It definitely
Wonderful Life
pulls on not the Wonderful Life. Definitely pulls on the nostalgic heartstrings because this was an event. If you missed it, you were I was kind of bummed. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer versus The Year Without a Santa Claus. Now, you might not be familiar with the title because a lot of times this movie just gets referred to as the one with the heat miser and the cold miser.
What?
I'm Mr. Heat Miser.
Yeah.
Where did you grow up?
What the fuck?
Did you have a television?
What the fuck are you
Rudolph.
talking about?
Rudolph.
Wait, I can't show you. Remember the heat miser?
No.
Oh my God, Nicholas! I have to. No wonder you're so angry.
His brother was Jack Frost or something.
He was the freeze miser.
Freeze Meister. Yeah.
I haven't seen that in years.
And Mother Nature came down and she dropped
Frosty
the hammer.
versus Rudolph?
I have that.
Frosty versus Rudolph.
All right,
I got a better one. So Rudolph
versus Year
Without a Santa Claus.
I'm going to go with Rudolph.
95% versus 90%.
Yeah.
Now, did you do Die Hard?
I did.
Oh,
I'm trying to bury the lead here.
Come on.
All right,
Just get to it.
Who do you think is... all right, I'm going to go Die Hard, which I know I'm going to hear shit for this, is not a Christmas movie.
Fuck it is. Fuck everybody else.
I disagree.
It didn't come out during Christmas.
But it's a Christmas-themed movie.
Absolutely.
It's a
Christmas-themed movie.
Hey, this is our show. We can do whatever the fuck we
Exactly.
want.
And he had a teddy bear for his daughter for Christmas.
Absolutely.
And then a Christmas song at the end.
He was traveling to visit his family for Christmas, and it was fucking snowing.
Yeah.
Whatever
Well,
the fuck
it wasn't snowing.
It wasn't snowing.
Oh, it was snowing in New York.
You're right. It was snowing.
It wasn't snowing in L.A.
Yeah, it wasn't snowing in L.A. But
So, Die Hard versus, and this is another one that isn't technically a Christmas movie, Batman Returns. Catwoman, Batman.
That's not Christmas.
The whole thing is shot during the Christmas season.
Is it really?
Yes. I had to look it
I
up.
haven't seen that in a long time. I know there was snow in it, but...
Man. I'm going to go with Batman.
What was the Die Hard. Get the hell out of here. It's my all-time favorite action movie. It was the original action movie.
I remember distinctly my Uncle Jimmy coming to me and saying, and this is in the late 80s, 89, I believe.
I have a machine gun. Ho, ho, ho.
I don't disagree with your point, but I'm just saying, I'm trying to think with like the critics.
Yeah, but I remember my Uncle Jimmy, him telling me what he goes, it's one of the best movies I ever saw at the time. And I was like, I was just captivated.
Still my top 20.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, I agree.
So Die Hard, rightfully so, 93%. Batman Returns, 79%.
See? It's easy.
Yeah. Want to do some more?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Based on what you were just talking about, Frosty the Snowman versus It's Charlie Brown Christmas.
Charlie Brown Christmas.
I'm going with Frosty. You know I like Charlie Brown.
Charlie with that sad tree.
Yeah.
94% on the tomato meter for Charlie Brown Christmas.
Damn right.
73% for Frosty.
Gerry, man, don't mess with me, Mom.
I was with you on the Frosty.
I'm just trying to go the opposite direction.
Dude, I was with you on the Frosty, man.
Yeah.
I like the peanuts too.
Yeah, so do I.
All right. We got a couple more in the can here. The Nightmare Before Christmas.
I've never seen it.
No?
But
have you seen it?
I have.
Versus The Polar Express.
Polar Express.
Polar Express.
We were talking about Tom Hanks earlier. He was all over that
Guys,
movie.
Yep,
so lovable.
I actually liked Polar Express.
I did too.
I liked Polar Express too.
Me too.
I didn't think I was going to, and I was like, God damn it, this is a good movie.
It's good. There's a parts of it where you're like,
It's got trains in it, so I like trains.
Yeah. And
wins
there's
over
a train in it? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, what?
95% for A Nightmare Before Christmas. 56% for Polar
really?
Express.
Wow.
Yeah. I was surprised about that. I was really, really shocked. And then we got last but not least, It's a Wonderful Life versus Miracle on 34th Street.
Wonderful Life.
Miracle.
I already know it's true.
Miracle on 34th Street, 96%. It's a Wonderful Life, 94%.
Oh, I thought I was right. Are you serious?
You didn't get your wings.
Oh, fuck, man. I cannot believe that they did that to Jimmy Stewart.
And that was this segment called Rotten Roulette.
Ooh.
We got to do that again. I think that's a fun segment to do. And especially since it's tis the season.
Oh, we should do it next week for Star Wars.
So let's now that you've opened that can, let's talk about that.
We'll talk a little Star Wars?
Do.
That's right. My phone's on the floor.
Your phone's still doing the Geiger counter thing?
My son...
Have you watched the show?
Hold on.
I'm sorry.
My son subscribes to Disney Plus, and I may or may not use his log on.
I don't think you do. I think you're legit. You pay for it.
He also has a Netflix and a Hulu account.
And there's up to 10
and an
devices.
Amazon TV account, which I may or may not use his log ons for those too. But
you realize he's your child, right?
yeah, he owes me.
You gave him life. Fuck it.
Yeah. But Mandalorian, fantastic.
Oh, it's
legit,
awesome.
right?
Right. My question is, because I'm a Star Trek guy, even though I do like Star Wars.
Yep.
Where does he fall into play with the movies?
6 years after Return of the Jedi.
After Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, 6 years after.
Yeah. So
Exactly.
it's the Empire is decimated, right? That's why you see all the banged up stormtroopers, right?
Right.
They're decimated. Excuse me.
That's why the Hutts are no more.
Yep. And it's this weird sort of outer rim, lawless wasteland on where it's a Western, man.
It's badass.
Yeah, it might as well be a Western. That might as well be the outlaw Josie Wales.
So where is the Baby Yoda falling into play here then?
Well, that's the
see,
thing we
see, here's the problem. 3 Spocks, 2 Yodas. Like, this is going to become a problem for me here. And I gotta commend the Mandalorians. Like, he's like, you know what? I'm letting this little guy die.
Yeah. He's got a heart.
He's got a heart. He's going to say.
Now, here's the question. I was telling John this. Is he a Mandalorian, though?
No, he's not. Because if you, is it episode 4?
He has that flashback, right?
No, not a flashback. He told someone that the Mandalorians took him in at a young age.
Yeah, because his family died.
And that's how he got into the guild.
Yeah.
With them at that point.
Which means, but if you think about it, though, that means part of the Mandalorian culture is they're not just. They didn't just leave him to die.
Right.
And he's not. And I think that's why he's not leaving that baby Yoda to die.
Right. Yeah.
And it's not Yoda. It's a species of Yoda.
Right.
So it's not a
but he has powers like the Jedi does.
Maybe that species has a lot.
He stopped that big
rhino thing.
Rhino from eating him.
Yep.
Yeah. He's a baby.
Right. And me and John, I would consider us experts on this topic. We don't know what the fuck's going on with that.
I just don't. I'm having a hard time trying to figure out where it's all fitting in.
I think
so. Like that's where I'm confused. Like, so you have the 3 original Star Treks, which were great. Then you have the ones
Star Wars.
I'm sorry. Then you have the ones that they're making. They made recently the prequels and the equals and all that kind of shit. And now we have this. So it's just for me, I'm having a hard time.
It's like Pulp Fiction. It starts in the middle, then they show the beginning,
then they show the end. Yeah.
You know, that's
a good comparison.
Yeah.
That's what I've always thought of. But no, with the Baby Yoda thing, I've always...
so you don't think he's actually Yoda?
No. I think he's part of... I think my theory, and I was telling John this the other day, is the Yoda species is like a force-generated species. They generate these kind of creatures every so often to lead divorce goers for the next 1,000 years. Yoda was passing. Yoda was getting to the age. They created a new Yoda. The Force did.
So that's the new Yoda.
That's going to be a new Yoda for the next generation.
Okay.
That's my opinion. That's my theory. I don't fucking know.
That makes sense.
That lasts 1,000 years. The kid's 50 years old and he's still fucking in diapers. I mean, come on.
Right.
He hasn't changed the diaper.
Nah, whatever. Maybe he doesn't pee that much.
Maybe he forces
he
it
eats
out.
frogs in his fucking mouth. I don't.
Well, he never really chewed on it. He just sucked on it. He didn't really eat it, but
no, he ate it.
He sucked on it.
No,
he spit it out.
The second time, but the first time he gobbled that thing right
He
down.
gobbled that fucking thing up.
Yeah.
We always wondered what Yoda ate. Now we know.
Well, remember when he was on Dagobah, inside his house, there was a frog in one of the containers.
Oh, yeah.
So, and this is the little details
You
that we
picked
love.
up over me, and you know,
I thought
he respected all life. What the fuck is
the,
that, dude? I thought he'd be a vegetarian.
It's one of those trippy frogs. Yoda's high as fuck.
He's vegan.
He's tripping balls off of psychedelic frogs.
Yeah.
I thought that the girl last week that he helped fight the
was his love interest?
No, I thought she was badass.
Oh, she was awesome.
I'm gonna say
she was
kind of hot too.
She's in Deadpool 1.
That's why.
That's right. She was a girl.
Yeah.
She was a young girl.
She's the one that fought Colossus.
Yes. Yeah.
And she has a wardrobe malfunction.
But she got
he's like, you're such a gentleman.
She got like a little bigger though.
It's not the Negasonic teenage. It's not.
No, I know that. It's the other girl, but she still got a little bigger.
Yeah, I think she's professional MMA. I don't know a lot about her.
You can tell she's got some training.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I actually thought before I saw the episode that she was going to be Mandalorian's kind of like love interest, but it was the other one.
He's never going to take off his helmet anyway, so never.
No, he will. They say he does take off his helmet in the season.
I leave it on always.
Yeah,
it is the way. It is the way.
Yeah.
So spoken.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah,
that was Nick Nolte.
Yeah, that guy was.
No, it's a great series. They really encapsulate the essence of Star Wars, but not throwing it down your throat.
Right.
You caught up?
Oh yeah.
They even they're even shooting it I read something on it with Jon Favreau where they shot it like an 80s type show.
Yeah.
So it holds that.
It's got like a flavor.
I like the score too.
Oh yeah, dude! The music.
The score.
Oh yeah.
So cool.
It is badass.
It's doing everything right, man.
Yeah.
I mean, they have some filler episodes, but everything is rightly done.
Yeah, I thought week 4 was a filler episode. I liked it, but it was a filler. But week 5, the one just last week, was awesome.
Just to let you know, this Friday will come out this Friday. Next week will come out Wednesday.
Oh, really?
Because the movie comes out Thursday.
And that's the last episode, right?
No, there's one after that.
Oh, nice.
But I think there might be some kind of tie-in. I don't know. Or they just don't want to double lap because everything comes out Friday.
Gotcha.
Dude, that'd be so cool. What I mean, Nick, it's. I'm just totally stoked about this whole series.
I like it a lot.
So let's move on a little bit. We're about an hour in. Let's move on to the trailers. We talked a little news. A lot of the news is centered in my book around the trailers that just hit. We had a Wonder Woman trailer. We had a Ghostbusters trailer. We had a Black Widow trailer. These are all well within our wheelhouse. And
2 women I would die for.
yes.
I'd do more than die for. I mean,
Dude.
give them my soul, give them whatever they want.
ScarJo and Gal Gadot.
Done.
Dude, she is stunning. Like, holy cow. Like, every time she walks into a room, it feels like, yes, you have been carved from clay. And
Right.
You are Zeus's daughter.
Yeah, right.
Fuck that, carved from clay. You're a god's daughter.
Yeah, exactly.
Damn right.
So let's start off with the Wonder Woman trailer. It comes out. They had this big expo in South America. Huge expo.
You're talking about movie. You're talking about music that just sets the tone right from the fuck. Did you see it?
No. The trailer? No, I haven't
Yeah,
seen it.
you will show it to you afterwards. Sets the tone right from the beginning of the trailer. I mean, this director, she is awesome. I forget her name.
Patty Jenkins.
She knows how to pull at those strings, just like Thor's Ragnarok. With
Oh,
the
yeah.
80s.
Good point.
You know, he's like pulling at the 80s just enough where it's not. I haven't watched the movie yet, but the trailer just has just enough 80s.
Is the movie out?
It comes out next summer.
Okay,
It's a trailer.
Okay,
It's
yeah,
just,
okay. Yeah.
It's Wonder Woman 1984.
Okay,
Did you see the first Wonder Woman?
I did. Yeah.
Well, in this trailer, what's his face is back. He didn't die, or he
Who? Captain America? Whatever the hell's name was, or
Steve Trevor.
yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Chris Pine's back.
Yeah. Chris,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know how he's back.
He died in the first one, didn't he?
Yeah.
I know.
He exploded in midair.
They
Yeah,
didn't,
it was
they-
like- yeah,
they didn't
that's what I
explain
meant.
it
Yeah,
in the
that guy.
trailer. They just showed sequences with him in it,
Yeah. So if you
and
think
then a lot
about
of
it-
her action.
Maybe he had a
moves.
parachute.
Well, think about the logistics alone.
Maybe. No, but he would be like 100 years old, like
It's
80
in the
years
40s.
old. Yeah, he'd be
Well,
like
that one was in the 40s because it was
Yeah.
World War II.
This is 84.
Or was it World War One?
No,
it was World War One. It was one.
Yeah, it was one.
Because she went across the line. Remember the trenches? She went over
Oh
the
yeah, all right.
trenches.
yeah. Well, yeah. So that would be like 1915,
It's the
17,
yeah,
17.
20. Yeah.
16 or 17.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, he would be.
So now
100.
it's 1984.
and he hasn't really. He's got a little
His
gray in his hair. That's about it.
John thinks
Martian Manhunter.
that's a different character in the DC universe.
Yeah. So Martian Manhunter can shapeshift, and he
Shapeshifted to him.
So that's the part that I'm not sure about. Like there was, I think it was Mark Bernard who's on the Fat Man and Batman, but or Fat Man Beyond, he had this theory. I just locked right into it. I thought it was brilliant, which was Martian Manhunter, how they introduced the rest of the Justice League. And there's a ton of different characters, and Martian Manhunter is a pretty key character in the Justice League. When he gets introduced, how does he do it? He's like, if he goes and says, how do I lock in? How do I get in on this? And do it in a way, two things. One, do it in a way to where I'm not familiar with the culture. So I might fuck up imitating somebody else that somebody cares for deeply. But it's the only way I know to get close and get into the culture and be a part of this as a quote unquote superhero.
Right.
Even though it might be wrong.
Right.
Right. And so he kind of, and that's what this guy's theory was. And I was like, damn, that's pretty smart. But knowing DC, they haven't been real smart about how they introduce characters. Real stupid, I would suggest. I would surmise, because if you think about it, the way they introduced Wonder Woman in Batman v Superman, you're like, well, where the fuck is this coming from?
Right.
You know, and even the way that Batman and Superman sort of pair up, it's kind of silly. So that's the heady, what I think is a little bit more sophisticated writing answer to why Steve Trevor has been introduced. But most likely it's probably because he got sucked through a portal and now he's got spit back out. Something silly like
Interesting.
that. Maybe it's something that's tied to boom tubes and he was off world. I don't know. But anyway, the trailer itself, it is definitely hitting hard on the 80s. Some of the things that they touch on, of course, we mentioned Steve Trevor, and Wonder Woman's doing her thing. They got a lot of nods to 80s style. It doesn't seem to, it seems a little heavy-handed right now. It seems like everybody's pitch for the 80s involves metallic, some day glow, a mall. You got to pepper it with a mall.
Yeah, a mall. Yeah.
Right. And then, of course the music, right? And they start with, I think it's Blue Monday as far as part of the theme. And it looks good. It looks like a good, look wise, it looks good. I'm very optimistic. I'm not 100% in that they didn't get flush with a bunch of cash and they went crazy with the story. Talking about with Wonder Woman, it's like I'm 100%. I'm in, of course, but I'm a little cautiously optimistic because I think that they might go hard on the 80s, they might go light on the story, and if Patty Jenkins went from this superstar to now I'm flush with cash. Mm-hmm. That can be a little crazy.
No, I don't think so. There's one thing I've learned is to trust my instinct when it comes to movie directors and to put out good content.
Yeah.
Once I find, and I'm not infallible, but with what I like, I'm usually right when I see a movie director put out good
instincts.
Good instincts, good movies. Like, I'm still not wrong about JJ. I liked him ever since Lost, Fringe. All this, Alias was one of my all-time favorite shows. Is Alias, and he's never
because Jennifer Garner was in it. But
God damn, that was her height, man. She still looks good, but she was beautiful back then.
She sold that Daredevil movie for sure.
Yeah, but that's what I'm talking about. It's like guys like him, and I still put a lot of faith in him. Like this movie coming out with Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker. I'm putting a lot of faith in him that he'll make a great movie. Can he save the franchise? I do not know.
So you have the same faith for Patty Jenkins for Wonder Woman?
I do, because I really loved the first one. She did.
Yeah, I agree.
And all the reports of her fighting to have that opening scene, which I thought was...
Yeah, that mascara scene.
I thought that made the movie. I mean, you needed that slight backstory and to see the beauty of where she grew up and that what she was giving up to leave to take on a monumental task.
Yeah, it was appropriate, and you're right. It fleshed out the character. I'm just like they do. The one thing, and you and I talked about this off air, Nick, which was I feel like they're overpowering her. Meaning she's a badass, and I love the fact that she kicks ass.
But maybe they're just showing the highlights.
But how do you? Who's the villain, and how do you fight her? It's like fighting Superman. Superman becomes hard. He's one of the hardest characters, and I mentioned this before. One of the hardest characters to write for because he's overpowered.
I know that, but maybe they're just showing the highlights because not for people like me and you and Gerry. It's for the people that don't know the Wonder Woman character, and especially the women that want to be empowered by it. Now, I know Jamie would be furious about me saying that, but it's true, though. I mean, we're already going to see it. You know what I mean? We're in. I think that trailer is more for showing the highlights. You're showing Chris Pine, who is very recognizable, and then you're showing a woman that's very powerful, which is very today's world.
Yeah, and I'm all for the positive role model. I'm all for the
and I get you are.
Empowerment.
So I don't think you should jump to conclusions. I think it's going to be a great movie.
I hope so.
I think trailers are just set up to intrigue people.
Yeah,
they already got ours.
Yeah, our money's there.
Our money's already there because she did such a good job on the first one. It's not like coming out with another Batman that I'm not sure about. It's not coming out with like the Joker, which you guys all said was great, but I still had reservations, and I probably will watch it, but I didn't go to the movies.
Yeah.
This I will already go to the movies because I seen the first one, and I was like, that director and Gal Gadot know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah, and I agree. I think that the part that I'm a little apprehensive about is one, she uses her lasso to ride down a bolt of lightning. Two, her lasso now has another superpower, which is when she whips it out, it stores energy and it does this burst. and
who's to say it didn't have it before? She just never used it.
Everything in its lore and the history, right?
It's never done anything.
But like, let's be honest, Marvel's taken liberties too.
I don't know about that. I mean, I know they've taken liberties, yes, with continuity in the
but DC,
but power-wise.
But DC, you cannot go with what Marvel does for the simple reason is she's probably the best director.
Yeah, but to see, you know what I mean? But to see, I agree. Yeah, I totally agree. But to see the Hulk get handled by Thanos, to see Chris Evans get the shit kicked out of him and struggle,
levels,
right?
They're different levels.
Like that creates jeopardy, though.
It does. They're different levels. Yeah. And DC has to market every fucking movie like it's their last.
I don't want them to fuck it up is what I'm saying.
Marvel doesn't have to market every movie. They know they have our money.
Yeah.
DC doesn't. So they have to fucking put all the highlights in these fucking trailers. Where Marvel put a fucking highlight out there that's not even the fucking movie half the time.
Yes, right.
Yes.
Right.
So, you gotta think of it like they released Black Widow.
Yes.
I mean, it looks okay. I mean, if I had to pick which one I think looks better as a trailer, I would say Wonder Woman.
Definitely more sizzle.
Yes, more sizzle, because they have to. Marvel doesn't have to with Black Widow, because it's fucking Marvel.
Yeah.
I'm already buying a ticket.
True.
Right.
True.
Right.
Well, all right, let's.
We're already buying a ticket. Let's just say that out loud.
Well, so let's segue over to that. So Black Widow's trailer came out. It's a little. We're trying to figure out what the timeline is, right?
I still think it's after Civil War.
After Civil War. That sounds like a good point.
She had red hair in Civil War, right?
Yes, I believe so.
She didn't get... yes, because she dyed it in between because she was on the run.
Yeah, she's always been a redhead.
She's always been a redhead, but she
I mean, like her natural, supposedly in the comic lore.
She's a redhead because you could see it growing out.
Yes.
I think she dyes it on the run, but I think after Civil War, this is the first place she goes.
Goes back to Russia, reconnects with quote-unquote family.
Because she has to fix something about
the ledger thing you were mentioning.
I think the ledger and all, I think she also wants to understand because, well, what's his face came from Russia, the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, he got yes.
So why didn't she know about that?
Oh, damn, dude! I forgot about that.
Why didn't she know about that?
That makes perfect sense now.
Yeah.
So she's going to run down the Winter Soldier.
Not the Winter Soldier. He was already run down. He's in
not run down, but go
and find out what's behind everything.
Yes,
why wasn't he there?
That's
why didn't she know more about this issue? Because she was supposed to be ultra top secret.
Yeah,
with the other Russian Captain America.
Yeah,
it does look like it's going to be funny. His part.
So I know you haven't seen the trailer, Gerry, but obviously Black Widow, Scarlett Johansson, Marvel and all that. They show the trailer and they show her. She does a quick voiceover, and it's basically her talking about this family that she has. It's lines from Endgame, actually, which is kind of screws me up a little bit.
What?
And she's like, I didn't ask. I got a family with the Avengers. Mm-hmm. That was a line from Endgame.
Yeah, but she could have used that, derivative it from this to Endgame because it could be prelude to Endgame.
Yeah, I mean the timeline's fuzzy, right?
It's before she dies.
Yeah.
So it's not Endgame.
Yeah, right.
It's before Endgame. We all fucking know. At least it's before.
We're just figuring out when.
I think it's before Infinity War because she doesn't have blonde hair.
I agree. And so
it falls somewhere in that vein.
Yeah. So she winds up going back to Russia. There's a bunch of cool cutscenes. She apparently gets into it with her sister. She does that thing.
But it's supposedly, I've read in the comics, her sister becomes one of her arch enemies.
That I don't know about that.
Don't quote me on that one.
It's the comics. It probably. So, but there's this one very charming spot where David Hopper from Stranger Things, he plays the Red Guardian, and he's kind of overweight, and he's got the superhero outfit on and everything. And one of the other characters in the trailer is like, "You've got the fat," like that, and so. It seems like it's got the same delicious Marvel beats, which is high drama, high action, peppered with great comedy.
just right comedy,
just
not
right, better said.
It's not like over the top. They just know how to put it in there. It's like even in the one.
It's not Deadpool.
Yeah, not Deadpool where it's drowning in comedy, which is great comedy. Don't get me wrong, man. That's hilarious, but it's not what the movie is going to be named for. It's a comedic movie. You know what I mean? They do it right, like Endgame with Thor and the leaving with the
Asgardians.
The Asgardians. He goes, you're in command. You're in command, Joe.
Yes, that's a great line. So the last trailer that we saw was Ghostbusters Afterlife. This is the third. We'll call it the third
because they're skipping over that
they've
Yeah,
She-Make.
that was terrible.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
Yeah, so this is all about
and we're not, and we just so everybody knows, if they haven't listened to previous episodes of the show, we're not shitting on the last Ghostbusters movie because it was an all-female cast. We're shitting on it because it was a bad movie.
It sucked.
Yeah, it was a bad movie.
Yeah.
Egon supposedly has grandkids, and you can tell once you figure it out, it's Egon's kids. It's Egon's kids.
Yeah.
But these kids don't really own up to it. They still don't say it in the trailer, but Paul Rudd plays like a science teacher kind of thing in Idaho or Iowa or whatever the fuck, upstate New York or something
Oklahoma.
like that. Is it Oklahoma?
Yeah.
And these kids with their mother, go back to this house, and because it's left to them in a will, and it's the only house they have left. It's an old beat up old house, and supposedly they're Egon's grandkids. Egon must have passed. The grandfather must have passed away, and his son must have passed away. So they get left this house.
The mom is the daughter of Egon.
Oh, is the mom the daughter?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. The mom's the daughter of Egon, so he gets left this house. It's like a spooky old house and wherever. And the one kid finds an old ghost trap.
So
he's still loaded?
Well, that's a good question, right? Because the one part where you basically see like this green mist coming out of it, and Paul Rudd thinks it's a replica. Somebody got a cell phone.
That's my cell phone.
Is that your cell phone again?
It's trying to tell us something, man.
It's trying to tell us
the
that
attack of the cell phone. Dude.
We have ghosts in the basement. So basically, what happens is it's out in the, they change up the scenery. The scenery goes from obviously New York, where it all went down, but
why are they tiptoeing around?
Yes, our lovely significant others
they don't want to make a noise.
Entered into the studio. See, girls, enjoy the rest of the game. Yeah. They went to go abscond with some beer.
They're getting their asses kicked.
Are they? Eagles?
17-3.
Yikes.
We suck this year.
So they have I think the look of it is really great. I think that the way they're trying to weave in these grandkids of Egon Spengler
and one kid's from Stranger Things.
Which one?
Again.
It's on the floor. What do you want me to do, dude?
Stomp on it.
One of Egon's kids from Stranger Things?
Yeah, the one kid with the main dungeon master guy.
Finn Wolfhard.
Oh, yeah.
He looks like an Egon kid, doesn't he?
I'll have to watch these trailers.
It's him and his sister. So they basically go back to Egon. Egon has this place in Oklahoma, right? I think it's Oklahoma. It might be. It's in the Midwest, right? He's got this place. It's an old house. He has since passed, right? The mom... His daughter is broke, and all she has left to her name is the house that he left to her. And so now they're going into this house, and they start to uncover all these things that were Egon. They see his old jumpsuit. They see dust covered proton pack. They see
easy guys. Say one thing. I like the one part where it kind of shows like the Ghostbusters were history. Paul Rudd brings up a YouTube clip of not a movie, but a television newsreel of the Ghostbusters. He's like, your parents never talked about the Ghostbusters? These were actual real people. Yeah. And it was a news clipping, a news article, news YouTube clip. But it was cool how they integrated it like it was actually real history. Like this actually really happened.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, it wasn't just presented as a movie. This was actually real. Like Egon was real.
Totally.
Peter Venkman was real. And then Peter Venkman, which you didn't catch, and I did.
Yes, you did.
Peter Venkman, when the original starts talking, I forget how he presents it. It's the causality thing.
Yeah, he does a voiceover that's talking.
It's when he's trying to seduce the hot chick.
Yes. Exactly. In the beginning of the movie, the very beginning of the movie, when he's talking about science to the cute co-ed.
Undergrad, the co-ed. Yeah.
And so, but it also goes in, and let's be honest, we're in our 40s. We grew up with this stuff. It's tugging at every nostalgic string in our hearts. And this movie was sold 30 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
But to be honest, it looks like there's some thought, there's some care. There are definitely some fan service for sure. But it looks good. It looks entertaining.
And you know what? We were talking upstairs. They didn't list the original Ghostbusters in the movie, but I still have a feeling.
Yeah, none of them.
They're going to make a show.
Yeah, that's another thing. No,
in the trailer,
no Ernie Hudson, no Bill Murray, no Dan Aykroyd, no Rick Moranis. Not that he was going to be in it anyway. But you know what? They did away
with that was showing a trailer clip because they weren't in the trailer.
Yeah,
they could legality wise.
Oh yeah, that's right.
They could get away with it. They don't have
to credit them.
They don't have to credit them because they technically weren't in the trailer, and the voiceover was just a voiceover from the first one, so it wasn't a new.
They own that anyway.
So. Yeah. I mean, I remember reading a couple months ago that they all did sign on to do another movie. Maybe it's just like at the end they show up.
Yeah. Well, there's a Netflix special called like the movies that shaped us, or the movies we grew up with, something like that.
Ghostbusters was my favorite movie growing up.
Dude, Ghostbusters is listed.
10 years old. I must have watched that 100 fucking times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The original. I never cared for the second one. Yeah.
Yeah,
I did. Well, sorry, James.
Jamie's not here. Anyway, so as far as those movies, Wonder Woman, Ghostbusters, Black Widow. Black Widow's coming out on 5/1. That's May 1st. Ghostbusters coming out in July. It's July 10th. And then Wonder Woman is slated for June 5th, all of which I believe have our money, which I happily would give. Mm-hmm. Not look at the tomato meter before I go to say it.
No, none of them I'm going to look at. But you know what? I have a feeling all three of them are going to be 80 or above. I really believe that.
Audience, not critics.
I think both. Right. I think both. I think even Afterlife, I just think the premise is solid. Like you're doing it 30 years after, 30, 40, 50 years, 30? I don't even know how long. Well, a long time after. But they're doing it right. You know what I mean? It seems like they're making it believe. We all know it's not believable, but you got to make it slightly believable.
Yeah, well, it's got to be just like we say before. It's got to be well written. Yeah. That's all. Yeah. Anyway, thank you everybody for joining us for this.
Real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Speaking of lovable, Paul Rudd. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Good call.
Lovable.
He was a perfect ad. He's the perfect ad for this Ghostbusters.
And he doesn't age, so we can use him 30 years from now.
Great point.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off at the end.
No, that's all right. No big deal. But I also think to that point, Paul Rudd's the perfect ad without being distracting.
Yes, because he's not.
Yeah.
God, that guy is fucking amazing.
Charming.
Like, he is. Yes.
Yes. Thank you, everybody, for joining us for this week's episode of the Nick, John, and Jamie Show. Be sure to subscribe. If you're listening to us, just hit that subscribe button. I can't even talk. Subscribe button. And we're on all of the popular social medias at NJJ Show. Thanks once again. Thank you, Gerry, for joining us for this week.
Thanks for having me.
We're going to have you. We're definitely going to have you back. We have to talk Star Wars in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So we definitely have you back. Hopefully, the Norwegian seamstress that's got your gold lame cape.
We got to get that squared away.
Happening.
And please just come with clothes and cape.
Yeah. Stop winning and pooing down in the basement.
Because I don't need a Dr. Manhattan site.
That's right. Thank you, everybody. Have an awesome week.